Let's unlock the secret or the nutritional secrets of the food that you should be on while you're taking your GLP-1 drugs. At the beginning of taking these drugs, however, you should really cut back on fried, greasy, or fatty foods to help acclimate you into starting out on these drugs.
Most people think success on Ozempic, Mounjaro, or Zepbound means eating as little as possible. Here's the problem with that approach. A 2024 study tracking over 460,000 GLP-1 users found that 22.4% developed nutritional deficiencies within just 12 months. And clinical trials show that roughly 40% of that weight people lose on these medications isn't fat at all. It's muscle. The medications work. The STEP trials proved semaglutide delivers nearly 15% weight loss. The SURMOUNT trials showed tirzepatide can push that past 20%, but here's what nobody talks about. Without the right strategies, people end up weaker, nutrient depleted, and watching the scale creep back up the moment they stop treatment. These aren't opinions. These aren't TikTok trends. Every tip comes directly from peer-reviewed clinical trials and major medical guidelines. Let's get into it. Tip number 10, stop undereating. This might sound backwards on a weight loss medication, but undereating is one of the biggest mistakes people make. GLP-1s suppress appetite so effectively that clinical studies document caloric reductions between 16 and 39% from baseline. That sounds great until the math catches up. The 2025 joint advisory from 4 major medical societies, including the Obesity Medicine Association and the American Society for Nutrition, established clear minimums. Women should consume at least 1,200 calories daily, men at least 1,800. Drop below these thresholds and meeting basic vitamin and mineral requirements become nearly impossible. A Frontiers in Nutrition analysis found that only 43% of GLP-1 users met recommended protein intake, with significant shortfalls in calcium, iron, magnesium, and vitamins A, C, D, and E. The goal isn't to starve. The goal is to maximize nutrition within a naturally reduced appetite. Tip number 9, protein isn't optional. If there's one thing every GLP-1 user needs to hear, it's this. Protein determines whether the weight lost is fat or muscle. Body composition data from the STEP 1 trial revealed that participants lost 19.3% of their total fat mass, but also 9.7% of their lean body mass. That means roughly 40% of the weight they lost was muscle tissue. The SURMOUNT 1 tirzepatide trial showed slightly better numbers, with 75% of weight lost being fat and 25% being lean mass. A 2025 study from Massachusetts General Hospital and Harvard found that lower protein intake was directly linked to greater muscle loss, even after controlling for total weight loss. The effect was especially pronounced in older adults and women. So, how much protein is enough? The 2025 Joint Advisory recommends 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight daily during active weight loss, distributed across at least 3 meals with 20 to 30 grams of high-quality protein each. For someone weighing 180 pounds, that's roughly 100 to 130 grams of protein per day. Tip number 8, hydration carries serious safety implications. Every GLP-1 medication carries an FDA warning about acute kidney injury risk from dehydration. This isn't theoretical. The warning exists because of real post-marketing reports of kidney problems in patients who experience nausea, vomiting, or diarrhea leading to fluid loss. Multiple factors increase dehydration risk on these medications. GLP-1s suppress thirst alongside appetite. Gastrointestinal side effects cause direct fluid losses. Eating less food means getting less water from hydrating foods. And delayed gastric emptying affects overall fluid balance. Clinical guidance recommends 2.7 to 3.7 liters of total daily fluid intake, which works out to roughly 91 to 125 ounces. A practical calculation: take body weight in pounds, divide by 2, and drink that many ounces of water daily. Electrolyte replacement becomes especially important during episodes of vomiting or diarrhea. Anyone over 65, on diuretics, or with pre-existing kidney issues needs to be particularly vigilant. Tip number 7, don't rush the dose. One of the biggest misconceptions floating around online: if the medication feels like it's wearing off, it's time to move up. The clinical data tells a different story. The SURMOUNT 1 trial tested tirzepatide at 5 mg, 10 mg, and 15 mg doses. The 5 mg dose achieved 15% weight loss. The 10 mg dose achieved 19.5%. The 15 mg dose, just 20.9%. That's only 1.4 additional percentage points for jumping from 10 to 15 mg, with significantly more side effects. For semaglutide, FDA labeling explicitly approves 1.7 mg as an alternative maintenance dose for patients who cannot tolerate 2.4 mg. The Prescribing information for tirzepatide states to consider treatment response and tolerability when selecting maintenance dosage, with 5 mg, 10 mg, or 15 mg all approved as maintenance options. A critical analysis from the STEP trials found that less than 1 percentage point of weight loss was actually attributable to gastrointestinal side effects. Weight loss was similar in patients with GI symptoms versus those without. The weight loss comes from central appetite regulation, not from feeling sick. Higher doses mean higher risk of nausea, fatigue, diarrhea, and vomiting, without proportionally better results. Tip number 6. Resistance training changes everything. The 2025 Joint Advisory from 4 medical societies states it directly. Increased protein intake alone is likely inadequate to preserve muscle mass without structured resistance training. A prospective real-world study of 200 adults initiated on semaglutide or tirzepatide found remarkable results. Those who received education on resistance training 3 times weekly plus protein guidance achieved approximately 13% weight loss at 6 months, with only about 3% muscle mass loss. Compare that to the roughly 10% lean mass loss seen in clinical trials without structured intervention. A small prospective case series demonstrated that combining protein intakes of 1.6 to 2.3 grams per kilogram daily with resistance training 3 to 5 days weekly reduced lean tissue loss to just 6.9%, with some participants actually gaining muscle mass while losing fat. The European Association for the Study of Obesity confirms that resistance training, rather than aerobic exercise alone, attenuates lean body mass loss during weight loss diets. The recommendation? Resistance training at least 2 to 3 times weekly, combined with at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic activity. Also, you need to know that if you're storing insulin, Ozempic, or any temperature-sensitive meds, you need to make sure they are stored properly so they don't spoil. Our portable cooling cases are reliable, smart, compact, and built for people on the move. It's the kind of upgrade that actually makes your health journey easier, safer, and way more convenient. So make sure to check forallfamily.com, the link's in the description. Back to the main focus of this video, we move into tip number 5, address constipation before it becomes a problem. While most gastrointestinal side effects resolve quickly, constipation's different. Pooled data from the STEP trials found that nausea lasted a median of 8 days, vomiting just 2 days, and diarrhea about 3 days. Constipation? A median of 47 days. GLP-1 medications delay gastric emptying significantly. A 2024 study from Albert Einstein Hospital found that 73% of semaglutide users had food remaining in their stomachs, even after 8 hours of overnight fasting. Management requires adequate fiber, between 25 and 30 grams daily, starting with soluble sources like psyllium, oats, and chia seeds before adding insoluble fiber. Hydration of 2 to 3 liters daily and regular physical activity also help. If dietary measures aren't enough, polyethylene glycol or magnesium oxide 400 milligrams at bedtime are evidence-based second-line options. Tip number 4, eat smaller, more frequent meals. No large-scale trials have specifically investigated optimal meal timing on GLP-1 medications, but clinical guidance points in a clear direction. Smaller, more frequent meals work better than large ones due to delayed gastric emptying. The 2025 Joint Advisory recommends eating slowly, allowing at least 20 minutes for satiety signals to register. Front-loading calories earlier in the day appears beneficial. Avoiding eating within 3 hours of bedtime helps with digestion. Spacing meals 3 to 4 hours apart prevents overwhelming a slower digestive system. Regarding intermittent fasting, experts advise caution. A 12-hour overnight fast is generally considered safe, but extended fasting protocols like 16 to 8 or 5 to 2 are not recommended during active GLP-1 therapy. The combined appetite suppression increases nutrient deficiency and muscle loss risks. Tip number 3, track personal patterns, not internet advice. The worst advice comes from comparison. Every person responds differently to GLP-1 medications, and the clinical data backs this up. Pooled STEP trial data showed gastrointestinal side effects affected 72.9% of semaglutide users, meaning 27% had minimal issues. Some people feel more effect in weeks 5 through 8 than weeks 1 through 4. Some forget they're even on medication because it's so stable. Some prefer one larger, satisfying meal, while others do best with 2 or 3 structured meals. The Inform survey presented at EASD 2025 documented remarkable psychological changes. Before treatment, 62% of participants reported constant food thoughts. On medication, that dropped to 16%. Uncontrollable food thoughts decreased from 53 to 15%. But these averages mask huge individual variation. Tracking personal energy levels, satiety patterns, and side effects provides far more useful information than comparing experiences to strangers online. Tip number 2, one higher calorie day won't derail progress. Many people come into GLP-1 treatment carrying years of diet trauma, cycles of restriction, guilt, and compensating tomorrow for eating today. The clinical reality offers some relief. Metabolism doesn't reset every 24 hours. Results come from weekly consistency, not daily perfection. The STEP trials measured outcomes over 68 weeks, not individual days. A 2025 study published in Cell Metabolism by Ravisin and colleagues examined whether tirzepatide protected against metabolic adaptation, the typical slowing of metabolism during weight loss. The finding? Tirzepatide did not prevent this adaptation. Reductions in sleep metabolic rate were comparable between medication and placebo groups after adjusting for body weight and composition changes. This means protecting metabolism requires consistent adequate fueling, not yo-yo restriction. Undereating consistently causes more damage than occasional higher calorie days. Tip number 1, prepare for the long game. This might be the most important tip, and it's the one most people don't want to hear. The STEP 1 extension study tracked what happened after participants stopped semaglutide. After achieving 17.3% mean weight loss at 68 weeks, those who discontinued the medication regained 11.6 percentage points within 1 year. That left only 5.6% net weight loss from baseline. SURMOUNT 4 showed similar patterns for tirzepatide. Participants continuing medication reached 23.5% total weight loss, while those switched to placebo experienced 14% weight regain. A 2025 meta-regression analysis found that weight regain follows a predictable trajectory with a half-life of approximately 23 weeks, plateauing at roughly 60% of original weight loss regained by 52 weeks. Discontinuation rates are high. A JAMA Network Open study for over 125,000 patients found 45 to 65% discontinue within 1 year. The data supports treating obesity as a chronic condition requiring ongoing management rather than expecting a short treatment course to produce permanent results. The clinical trials prove these medications work. Nearly 15% weight loss with semaglutide, over 20% with tirzepatide, but the same trials reveal that without adequate protein resistance training, proper hydration, and realistic long-term planning, people lose muscle, develop deficiencies, and regain most of the weight. These 10 strategies aren't about making GLP-1 treatment harder, they're about making the results last. What's been the biggest challenge on your GLP-1 journey? Drop it in the comments. If you found this helpful, subscribe for more evidence-based weight loss content and check out our next videos as you might find some very useful content. Thank you for watching, see you in the next one.